medical support when needed. This 2-hour presentation will cover a vast amount of information based on over 35 years in practice as a health professional, trained in osteopathy, the Buteyko method and whole plant nutrition, and from working in the first holistic clinic in Kent for 2 decades. I hope you'll go away with some useful ideas for you to improve your health. The body connection. The first thing to remember is that we all own the most amazing, beautifully designed machine ever built. I'm not referring to your Porsche or Rolls-Royce, but your body. There are 4 simple concepts to know. 1. That our structure mechanics affects the way our body functions. 2. That any problems in the way our body functions will affect our structure adversely, perhaps a pain in the back. 3. The entire body is the most amazing union, one out, all out, or in other words, any problem in one area affects every other area. And 4, here's where your body is infinitely superior to your Porsche. Given the right conditions, your body will heal itself. The food connection. I have recently attended a number of conferences for doctors at the Royal Society of Medicine that were devoted to the subject of food and our health. Most doctors have received little or no training in nutrition as part of their medical studies, despite the fact that most modern diseases are either caused by or made worse by the food we choose to eat. I have avoided this subject for most of my career because, like you, I was totally confused and unconvinced by all the dietary advice that was rarely supported with any hard evidence. This changed when I read the China study 3 years ago. I now offer advice to all my patients based on the most comprehensive study of nutrition ever conducted, based on over 25 years of research. The breath connection. Most of what you've been taught about breathing is probably wrong. When did your doctor last routinely check your breathing? Unless you presented with a respiratory disease, probably never. Yet most of us in the West have a breathing problem that is either the main cause of our ill health or a major contributory factor. Most of us overbreathe or suffer some degree of chronic hidden hyperventilation. The bad news is that it can make us seriously ill. The good news is that it's only a bad habit and we can correct it ourselves with a little help. The mind connection. We hear that mental illness is becoming a major health problem and one that is poorly understood and poorly treated. Many health problems have been classed as psychosomatic as opposed to real health problems. I have never been able to understand this, as I cannot think of any physical problem that doesn't have an emotional or psychological effect as well. Medicine has spent 100 years putting conditions in boxes as though they were somehow totally isolated from everything else in our lives. We need to start taking them out of the boxes and learning about all the connections. The best news in recent years is that our brains are plastic. What does this mean? The living connection. The latest development in medicine is the introduction of social medicine, which could be a valuable aid to recovery of many people who have become isolated from friends and community. Groundbreaking work was done over half a century ago by 2 doctors who were interested in the etiology of health. The environment connection. It takes a stretch of the imagination to understand how my lifestyle can be affecting the world's environment, but it is true that it does. Most of these effects are damaging and include climate change, dead zones around coasts, depletion of fish and animal species, soil erosion and general ecological damage. Rising population combined with extension of affluent lifestyles demanding more resources, a shift in eating habits and pollution from our waste. One hamburger uses the same resources as a 10-mile journey in an eco-friendly car. With a shift towards a diet based on plants, there would be sufficient food from present land use to feed 3 times the current population. There would be no hunger or starvation, and we would all be healthier. The cosmic connection. Perhaps this is a step too far. However, no one would disagree that without the sun there would be no life on Earth as we know it, and that the moon has a powerful influence on all our lives, at least from its effects on tidal movements. Rudolf Steiner offered a theory that all the planets have a specific effect on our lives that have been part of our common knowledge for thousands of years. Many recent scientists studying consciousness are claiming we are all part of a cosmic consciousness and that we are immersed in an ever-learning universe. No Big Bang, just never-ending cycles of change, and you are part of this process. Tomorrow's sustainable medicine. There is a widespread agreement that we cannot continue providing healthcare the way we do now. We shall require most of our national wealth spent just on healthcare if we do, when everyone will need intensive medical support for ever-increasing ailments of affluence. It is interesting that ancient Chinese emperors ranked their doctors and surgeons less important health carers than their cooks. Our medical system has to make health promotion and education as important as disease treatment. Modern medicine must complement health promotion, with the individual taking on more responsibility for their own health. So what can you do to help yourself and help your doctor for better health? Take better care of your mechanics. A pain in your back may need attention from a body mechanic. Remember, we are what we eat, and let food be your medicine. So, based on the best science available, that means shifting your diet from meat to veg to mostly a plant-based diet with less animal products and processed foods. If your breathing is very poor, get help to change it in weeks with the Buteyko method or any system that addresses chronic hidden hyperventilation. If not too bad, get into the habit of breathing less and always through your nose. Stress is a major disease supporter, so learn to switch off, calm yourself, take moments to purposefully relax. Cultivate your friendships and support your community. They will support you. Help improve the well-being of the natural environment and the planet whenever you can. A healthy planet can only be good for all our health problems.